Hello, this is our follow-up on Chapter 3, Cost Volume Profit Analysis, showing perhaps how a problem could be set up homework-wise, test-wise, in terms of how you might work through and what it might look like in an Excel spreadsheet. So we have an example here with Company A, with the sales price of their product is $22. The direct materials is $3.50, direct labor is $4, variable overhead is $3, and variable selling is $1.50. So we've broken it down. We could give it to you at all the variable costs together, or very different kinds. That's all the possible variable costs that you could have in a problem. So when we calculate contribution margin per unit, we take the sales, we subtract all of the variable cost per unit, and we get $10. Then we look at our fixed costs, and we have overhead or manufacturing overhead that's fixed, $37,000 per month, $24,000 per month, $31,000. Notice it's per month. We need to know that we're doing everything on a per month basis, which means we're going to calculate our break even on a per month basis as well. So again, we have all the different possibilities, but we can add them up for our calculation. So our total fixed cost is $92,000. So when we do our formula, fixed cost $92,000 divided by 10, we get $9,200 per month is our break even. So if we sell 9,200 units and all of these things happen exactly as they are planned here, then we will have zero profit, but we will at least cover our costs. If I wanted to know what that was in dollars, all right, I just simply take the 9,200 per month and multiply it by my original $22 for the sales price, and I get $202,400. That would be the number of dollars I would have to sell. Selling 9,200 units results in $202,400 in sales dollars per month. Now, the alternative is to calculate first the contribution margin percentage or ratio. And that is just taking the $10 and dividing it by 22. Now, I put the percentage on it here, but you could have left it without the percentage. And then you take your fixed cost and you divide by that contribution margin percentage or ratio, and you get the 202. See, it's exactly the same either way. So remember, there was two ways to calculate sales break even, and both of them should give you the exact same answer, and that's what happened here. But we don't always just want to get break-even point. We also want to look and see what would happen, what we need to do in order to make a profit. So how many units if we had 50,000 operating profit per month? So we're going to take the $92,000 of fixed costs plus the 50,000. So you add together your target profit and your fixed costs, then divide by the $10, your contribution margin per unit, to get 14,200 units. That's how many you would have to sell to make 50,000. All right. That margin of safety there, okay, is how far above we are the break-even point. Remember, break-even point was 9,200, so we're selling 14.2, so our margin of safety is 5,000 units, and sales dollars is 5,000 times $22. Now, we can build a contribution margin financial income statement to prove that this actually works. This formula gave us the right answer. So to do that, to build that income statement, we simply take, at 14,200 units, we multiply that by the $22 sales price. We pick each of the direct materials, direct labor, variable overhead, variable selling. Each of those are multiplied by 14 by 200 times the cost per unit that was given up here. Remember, up here in our little given information. So sales minus all these variable costs. Now these are in total, not per unit now. Okay, we get our contribution margin 142,000, which we have our fixed costs, fixed selling, fixed overhead, fixed selling, fixed administrative. Subtract each of those and you get 50,000, and look, it checks, make 50,000 of operating profit just like we anticipated using our formula. So, kind of question we might do for sensitivity analysis. Well, what would be the break even in sales dollars if fixed overhead went up by 7,000 and direct labor went down by $250 per unit? Well, if our direct labor went down to $250, all right, before it was $4. So if we redo our contribution margin per unit, instead of using the 4, we use the $2.50, we get $11.50 contribution margin. If you think about it as our cost went from 4 to $2.50, that's a difference of $1.50. We expect our contribution margin per unit goes up $1.50 and went from 10 to $11.50 just as we expect. The fixed costs are also changed. So instead of being 92,000, they're up to 99,000. So we take 99,000 divided by the new contribution margin per unit, and our break-even point is no longer what we had before. It's 86.09 rounded, multiplied by the sales price, and we can do it the alternative way by calculating 1150 divided by 22, getting the contribution margin ratio, and then taking the fixed cost and divide by that, and get 189,391 just to check ourselves. Do it both ways. All right. So there's a way that we look through and see a new, a new scenario. Now moving over to our second spreadsheet. How would this work if this was 2 products? So before we had this product, now we have added a second product for this company. The sales mix, they sell 70% of product Y and 30% of product Z. Okay, and we changed our fixed cost some because of our new set of products. So we have a contribution margin for Y and a contribution margin for Z. We do a weighted average or composite contribution margin where we multiply each of the contribution margin per unit times the percentage. So Y gets multiplied by 70%, Z gets multiplied by 30%. Add them together, then take our total fixed costs, divide by the 940, and our break-even point is 12,074. That's all the units. 70% of those would be Y, and 30% would be Z. We then multiply this product sales times 22, this by 15, add them together, and you get your break-even point in dollars. They would sell 240, 282, okay, in dollars. Now, if you wanted to do it using the contribution margin ratio, that formula is here, and you see it comes up with the same result. Now, just as an aside, while we're thinking about this product Y and Z, remember that sometimes we may have to choose which one we want to do. If Y uses 3 machine hours, Z uses 2 machine hours, then we would prefer Z because it makes $4 per hour, while Y makes $3.33 per hour. Okay? What if we wanted to make 50,000? We simply add the 50,000, use our same two of the fixed costs, use the same contribution margin, weighted average, and that's how many the sales in units to make 50,000. Let's build, and 12,000 of those or so would be, or 70% would be X or Y, and the other 30% would be Z. So if we were to build an income statement, we have sales of Y here, which is these 12,000 times the sales price. Z, 5,218 times the sales price. We take the direct materials, direct labor, variable overhead per unit times the number of units. Each of the others times the number of units, add them up, subtract them from the sales, get our contribution margin, 163,500. Subtract the fixed costs and get our operating profit of 50,000. If you want to use the contribution margin ratio, that is calculated here. So that's how you might see and set up a problem for your homework and be able to work it through.